This is Nick Nielsen, Mad Scientist of Muscle, and what I've got for you today here is a review of a combination leg curl leg extension machine from Merach. M-E-R-A-C-H is the brand name. Now, I'll be honest with you, most leg curl and leg extension machines that I've tested for home gym use, I've not had a very high opinion of. I've tested a few different ones. I've actually had to send a few back because they were breaking my knees or they just did not feel good on the back or what have you. I actually have a professional, commercial quality leg curl machine in my basement, and I used to have a really good commercial quality leg extension machine in my basement too. I didn't really use it very much. It was taking a lot of space up, so I sold it. Now, this kind of gives you the best of both worlds. I actually found, in kind of a spoiler alert, this is actually good. This is a good leg extension and a good leg curl. And, like I said, I didn't have really high hopes for a home gym variation of this, but I actually kind of like this one. It's got a lot of settings that you can really adjust this in a variety of ways to not only do leg curls and leg extensions, but there are some back extension movements you can do. This rotary action right here, every single one of these is a place that you can set the pin. So this gives you a tremendous variety of settings that you can work with on this to customize this for your body and for whatever exercises you want to do. And I'll show you a few of these as well. Now, the basic setup. In terms of installation, or I should say putting this thing together, it took me a couple hours to put together. A few of the things weren't 100% clear, but the instructions actually were fairly clear. And it was more user error that I put things upside down and I had to flip them back around. The instructions I think are good on here. You're not going to have too much trouble putting this together. You will need some free weight plates, whether it's Olympic or standard. It's going to work with both. It has a sleeve that actually fits, so you can basically an adapter that you can slide on, and it's going to stay on based on a what do you call it? I don't even what do you call it, but it screws on and it locks on tight, so it's not going to fall off. I've got a 45-pound plate on here, and I'm going to demonstrate a few things. Now, in terms of the setting, this, like I said, spins around. So you can literally set this, all the way around to whatever you want to do. And this gives you a tremendous variety of exercise options. Now, that's not all the adjustability. This right here, this seat goes from full vertical, if you want to do leg extensions at full vertical. I personally like to sit back or lean back a little bit, and it goes all the way down to a solid slope, basically an unbroken slope here. Some leg curl machines you'll have like the ability to raise up in the center. This doesn't give you that ability, but not a big deal. I found this to be just as good even without that capability. You've got handles here for leg extensions, you've got handles down here for leg curls. This doesn't lock in super tight because of how the bolts sit in, but it's tight enough that these things are not going to go flying. Not a big deal at all. Padding is good and solid. There's another post here for storing weight plates if you want to store weight plates on the machine. Now, let's set this back up. The steel on here is nice and solid. It's a lightweight machine. I think the whole thing, without any weight on it, weighed about 85 pounds. So if you do need to move this around in your home gym, you absolutely can. It's not going to be super challenging. You're not going to have to use a forklift to do it. It's got some settings on here where you can turn these things, and if your floor isn't quite even, you're going to be able to adjust the height of these feet. Now, let's get back to the meat of how this works for a leg extension to start with. So, it's a single pad, and this spins around, so it actually gives you pretty good capabilities in terms of, if your legs are a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, it's going to kind of auto-adjust. Now, you sit on the machine, and one thing that would be nice, like I said, the height does, because this is kind of on an axis here, it does auto-adjust fairly well. It would be nice to be able to raise this up a little bit. You can't, but not a big deal. What you can do, kind of makes up for it, is the ability to move this back a little bit and start from back here. So in some leg extension machines, you have to start from here, and you can't adjust that capability. Here, you can bring this bar like really far back, like further back than you likely will need to. So you can start that exercise from here and come all the way up. Now, one thing I like to do is lean back. And I'll show you what I fully like to do. If you want to sit this all the way back, lie all the way back, you've got basically a massive stretch exercise coming up to a contraction exercise. And I'll show you that real quick. This is something you generally can't do on a lot of machines, but this one allows you to do it. So, all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. Now, look at that stretch. It's going to put a little bit of, torque on the lower back, not a ton, but, you don't have to do it this way, clearly. So you're going to stretch and then come all the way up to extension. So that gives you a good option. And what that does, puts more stretch on here, involves the rectus femoris, which is a hip flexor. So by stretching at the knee joint and at the hip joint, you're going to get a bit more tension. Like I said, you don't have to do that. It works just as good as a normal leg extension with the backrest here, and you're doing the exercise like so. Now, what I've found, which is kind of a weakness not only in this machine, but in even the commercial machine that I used to have, is this pad. And I'll kind of bring it out a little bit here. Because it's affixed only at one point here, some of the leg extension machines I've used in the past, they come through the middle like this, and you have equal, basically, flexion on both sides on the pad. With something like this, where it's just on one spot, you're going to get a little bit of room to play. So your right leg is going to be a little bit closer, your left leg is going to be a little bit further. So essentially, right leg, left leg, the bar is kind of angled like that just a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but it is something to be aware of, and it is an issue that I've had even in commercial quality gym pieces, so it's not just unique to this piece by any stretch. Now, you want to set this up for leg curls. So I've got the bench already set. This part swings around, and you can set it up to here. Now, there's your leg curl. Set it there. Set it down here, and you can start essentially from whatever rotational level you want. So this right here, and now and there's your leg curl. Has a good feel to it. Again, this is not like a dedicated unit, so there will be some compromises in terms of tension and loading, but in terms of an all-in-one unit for leg extension and leg curls, I think this has done a really, really nice job of it, actually. And in addition to being good for leg extensions and leg curls, this gives you the capability of doing other exercises. This rotary action right here, this setting right here kind of reminds me of like a total hip machine. This gives you the capability of doing other exercises, like, for example, set it to here, and now you can do a seated back extension. So this is giving you a variety of exercise variations that you can do, a whole bunch of other things with. And swings all the way down and around. The cables are in good condition. This is easy to set up. This is easy to work with and easy to use. And basically, in my opinion, there's not a lot of weaknesses to this in terms of the value that it's going to give you and the number of exercises you can do with it and the quality of the two primary exercises, which is a leg extension and leg curl. The rotary action, like I said, is going to give you a lot of exercise options. There are a few small weaknesses to the design. Again, this kind of gives you a little bit of a play, and I would love to be able to adjust this lever arm too, but again, not a huge deal. And bottom line, I think this is a really good little machine. I think it's worth the price, and if you do have a home gym and you are looking for a good leg machine that's going to give you a lot of options, even beyond just leg curls and leg extensions, this one from Merach Merach, is something I would definitely recommend. So if you have any questions about it, definitely let me know. I'll have a link to this here in the captions below.